Cloud. Hi guys, welcome. Happy Monday. I'm so excited you guys are here. Happy September 28th. I literally cannot believe that it's September 28th. I wrote that at the top of my tracker this morning and I'm like, that is not accurate. How in the world? I feel like we literally hit spring. Somehow I missed summer and here we are, it's fall. I did not pee, first of all. If you're watching that recording, that is gonna make no sense to you, but that'll just be our inside joke. We have a very, very special guest tonight, Miss Jatana Jackson. She posted in the roundtable, she was looking for guest speakers on her team call. I was like, yeah, I would love to speak on your call and you would speak on mine. That would be a dream come true. And she was like, heck yeah, let's make it happen. So she is a 10-star diamond in her first business center, a 2-star in her second, a diamond in her third. She is a Success Club All-Star legend. If you don't know what that means that she has hit Success Club consecutively for over 24 months. I'm sure it's a lot longer than that. She is a 7-time elite coach. She was in Country Heat. If you haven't done that, she was a cast member and she is the founder of Epic Empire. So she is going to share with us tonight her heart and I am just super excited to hear from her. So Jatana, without further ado, go ahead and take it away.
What's up, you guys? How are y'all? It is 10 o'clock here. Y'all are on the West Coast, I'm assuming. His name Alyssa's like, no girl, I'm feeling your pain right now. I was sitting there watching, like, have you guys watched Home Edit yet on Netflix? I was watching that and I'm like sinking into the couch. I'm like, I gotta get up, I gotta do a call. Girl need to wake up. So I'm like, honey, can you give me some cold water? Because I'm not taking Energize at 10 o'clock. That would be really bad. Thank you so much for having me. Your girls slayed it on my call. My girls were so excited and inspired. So you guys have a fearless leader. So be thankful and grateful for that. You're blessed. It doesn't always happen that way. So I just want to edify her that she's a rock star. So you're in a good spot. My name is Jatana Jackson. I am a wife and a mom. I have 2 boys. They are 12 and 9. And I'm living my dream life here in Florida. And it didn't always look that way. So I want to share a little bit of my story because I think that it definitely grounds you and it helps you relate and connect depending on where you are. No matter where you're at in your journey, you will find relativity. What's the word? I'm like so tired. Come on, get together. You will find a relation between me and you with the story. And I think that's so important to really stay grounded to your story because if you do not stay connected to that, no matter how big your business gets, whether it's $1 million a year, 7-time elite, whatever that is, you have to stay super plugged into your story because that's what people connect with. And I found I hit a speed bump, a roadblock, a speed hump, whatever you want to call it. I always think it's funny when it says speed hump. I'm like, really? That is so awkward. But I've hit that a couple times in my business. And it was when I started to focus on the hugeness of the business and not staying grounded to my story. So I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully I can post disable. Okay, you got that. And I'm a visual person, so I like to share visually with you guys because it helps, I think, share the story a little bit. All right, so let's go here. And let me present so you can see it. Like I said, I am a mommy of 2. There we go. And I've been doing this 7 years now. So backtrack before I got involved in Beachbody. Stay-at-home mom, you know, a normal plain Jane kind of girl, lost in the shuffle of motherhood, had 2 little ones, driving a minivan, living in Northern Virginia, trying to be, and I actually did a post about it today, trying to be like this person that I thought I was supposed to be as a young mom, fitting all the molds, going to church, doing all the things. And I found myself in a place where I'd always wished to be. Like I'd always dreamed of being a stay-at-home mom. Actually, when I was in college, I went overseas to study international business. And they were having us do this journal thing explaining what we wanted to do for our career. And I said I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And my career coach in college was like, no. Like, we want to talk about do you want to be a buyer for Neiman Marcus? Like, you talk about those things. And yes, but in the end, like, I just want to be a stay-at-home mom. And they kind of laughed at me and thought it was crazy. So anyways, I finally get to that point in my life and I'm like, all right, I'm home. I've got healthy kids. I got a husband that can provide for me and everything's great, right? No, I was completely miserable and bored and depressed and tired. Mom life is very tiring. And so all these voids were happening and I was frustrated because that's what I always dreamed of. And I knew I didn't want to go back to work because I wanted to be there and present with my kiddos. And so actually what got me closer to Beachbody was where I started deciding that working out would help me with my mental state. Because I was really, really depressed at the time. And so I tried Julian Michaels, like that 30-day shred or whatever at Target for $19.99. Like I tried that. I pulled out Tybo DVDs, tried that. Actually did some bootleg Insanity for a little while, did that. And then finally, I had only had a couple copies of the workout of Insanity. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to post on Facebook, does anybody own Insanity, and see if I can borrow it. Because I looked it up online and there was no way I was going to pay $60 for DVDs. That's crazy, right? So I was that person who would have a ton of price objections, but, and it wasn't even that I could afford it. It was just stupid that anybody would pay $60 for a workout program. In my mind, when I could go to Target and pay $20. So I asked to borrow Insanity, got it from my girlfriend, and the post shows up every year in Facebook, and it's so funny to share. And I've never to this day gave her DVDs back, but I borrowed the Insanity DVDs from her, and I'm like, all right, I got the program. I actually went and bought 2 bags of Shakeology because some coach on some blog who didn't hook me enough, but should have, because then they would have had a great coach under her. I went and bought 2 bags of Shakeology at one time because it was 60 days. So, and I didn't want to do auto ship because auto ship means you got to commit to having something withdrawn from your account. I'm totally the classic, worst case customer. So I bought 2 bags and I was like, I got everything I need. Put my little, calendar thing that she had on my wall, on the wall. And I think I got to day 4 and I stopped. And I think I went 3 days. I was like, okay, I'm gonna start back over again. Totally that person. I'm sure we've all been that person before where you start and stop a million times. And I finally got to a point where I was really, really frustrated and disappointed in myself. I was a competitive cheerleader. So I'm like, I know how to commit to something and work hard. I couldn't do it. One, Insanity was probably not the best program for me to start with. 2, the warm up is deathly for this new mom with 2 C-sections, right? And so I was sitting in my basement and I was like, this sucks. Not only am I bored, lonely, depressed, I can't even complete a program that I'm trying to commit to, that all I have to do is put the stupid thing on the TV or in the DVD player and push play, and I can't even do that for myself. I'm frustrated. So I get back on my phone and I Google Insanity help, I don't know, whatever pops up, and then somehow Beachbody's message board popped up, and I saw this girl in this Insanity message thread. This is OG Beachbody. Okay, we used to have this message board, AOL chat room kind of stuff. And so she had a before and after picture. She had 2 kids the same age as mine. And I was like, okay, girl, I think I sent her an email. Yeah. Can you help me with Insanity? Because I have 2 kids. You look amazing. Our before and after pictures. I would just love to have what you have right now. My body looks like your before. Can you help me? And she's like, sure. Let me get you on Facebook. Got on Facebook. She popped me into a challenge group. And I'm like, who are all these people? Oh my gosh, you guys are all working out. You want to know each other and you want to interact. This is super cool. So here is this, mom in Northern Virginia who's lonely and bored and feeling tired and low energy, doesn't have any purpose outside of motherhood. And now waking up every day going, oh my gosh, so I wonder if Lindsay got a workout this morning. Hey girl, I got the workout. And oh, what kind of cross trainers should I get? Because I really want to buy myself some new cross trainers because I got through week 1 successfully. So it was this instant community that I was lacking and didn't even realize I had a void in my life. And then success in my fitness journey started to happen. And then me on fire for the fact that it was actually working. It was finally working. And I remember sitting thinking to myself, I was about 7 weeks in, and I'm like, no mom should ever struggle the way I did trying to get my body back. There is no reason why any mother should ever feel the way I felt with trying to feel, beautiful again, whole again, and healthy again. I wasn't feeling that way. And I finally was achieving it. And it was only 7 weeks into the program. And so I decided, you know what? I want to like invite my best friend into the group. My coach was like, well, if you want to invite her to the group, she's either got to like become one of my customers or you got to become a coach. That's basically how she trained me up. She didn't know what she was doing. She's not even a coach anymore. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll become a coach. What do I have to do? Do I have to like get a certification? Like I had no clue. And so she's like, no, you just sign up with a challenge pack. And I bought Asylum. I don't even know what I was thinking. That was my next program. So I bought Asylum and I kind of was like, I don't know what this business is, but I know that I feel really good and I want every woman to feel the way I felt. And I don't want anybody to ever struggle the way I struggled with going to the gym and all those type of things that never worked for me. And so that's kind of the ground of the foundation of my business and why it is as successful as it is even 7 years in and continuing to grow and continuing to be successful is because I stay grounded to that beginning, because that beginning is where every single one of my coaches and my customers are. And so when I post every day, I try to tie right back into that mindset. Actually, when I sit down, you guys, to do any type of work, I use this Power Hour here. I think it came from Micah Folsom. I just really like it. There's all kinds of different ones, but this one I thought was really special. And one of the first things on there is gratitude, affirmations, and 5 minutes visualization. And one of the really cool things about that is I like to visualize myself 7 years ago on September 28th. Where would I be? What would I be doing? What would I feel like? What would I be preparing for? Would I be traveling or not traveling? All those things, because that's really important to be able to speak directly to the person I'm trying to connect with. And then remembering, where am I at right now? What am I struggling with? What phase of life am I in? I'm going through renovation. I literally have boxes all around me. I've got people painting baseboards in the middle of the day. I've got kids coming home like, don't touch the walls. That's where I'm at right now. And so I definitely like sit down and I focus on that. And then I compare the two and I bridge that gap. And I think every morning doing that, and you'll go through seasons where they're very, very similar, and then it shifts. Like one we have coming up right now is the time change. Like the time change was huge for me in Virginia. So anyways, part of my Power Hour is doing that, or part of my work time, because I work, it's a full-time job for me. I treat this like an 8-hour job. Now, granted, I can get up and go to my kids' school if I want to in the middle of the day. I can take a nap if I'm really tired. I can take the whole day off if I feel like it. Like that kind of, when I say I work an 8-hour day, it's because it's paying me a lot of money. So I should be putting that time in now that I'm at this point in my business. But it's also very, very flexible, which is a beautiful thing. So that's one of the things I would encourage you to do on your daily activities is just before you even start your business, think about, where was I before Beachbody on this phase in this time of year? Because those pain points and those pleasure points are so crucial to your sharing on your journey, whether it's a post or in your stories. So there I am. That's my journey in all different facets of it. There's Jatana and her working out in her bathroom, to like creating a basement gym and like getting super ripped from Beachbody. The kind of quiet and lost in motherhood Jatana, to speaking at all the Super Saturdays. Like, I've been at the UK, I've been to Canada, I've spoken on National Wake Up Call, spoke at Summit, like crazy, to the purple shirt Jatana, which is me in Florida, where I'd always dreamed of living, on the water, like customized whatever kind of house I wanted, dream life. Like I never thought I would be here, and it took us 15 years to finally get here, and 7 of them were Beachbody, but 15 years we've been dreaming of being here, and we're finally here. And then there's kind of like a little glimpse of like that transformation. When you look at that, some people laugh, they're like, that is not you. I'm like, that's totally me. And never was I fat. I think I weighed 107 pounds. Y'all, I'm really tiny. I'm like 5 foot tall. So if you meet me in person, you're like, oh, you're like a little Polly Pocket. So my transformation is a big piece of my success in my business. And you guys, if you don't have a transformation yet with Beachbody and you've been doing this for more than 6 months, there's a problem, okay? There's a big problem, because your transformation is the whole reason why you'll be successful in this business. It is a relationship business, And it is a business where we transform people's lives inside and out. And you have to have that for yourself, for you to have the confidence in anything that you do, in your posting, in your inviting, in your daily pursuit of your own health and fitness journey. That confidence feeds it. They said on the national, my friend Beth, so funny, Beth spoke on the national wake up call today, and she's a pageant girl, and I'm a pageant girl. So like I had knew her before she was with Beachbody. Dang it, why did I get her? And then Scotty Hobbs called me and he was like, can you help her out? She's a pageant girl and she's brand new, and you are, maybe you can help her. So I gave her some advice, and like now she's top 10. Great. Pretty awesome. But she said today in the national wake up call, action breeds confidence and action breeds fear. So you got to make sure that you're constantly in action, whether it's just focusing on your health and fitness journey, or it is dialed into your tracker, or it's pursuing and chasing goals. So I want to give you guys, I thought it was fun to see that kind of transformation and be really, to make sure I really emphasize my story, because the story, I want you guys to make sure that you have that and you're solid in it, and that you speak on it on a daily basis from every single angle, because that is how you inspire people to take action when they read your posts or when they watch your stories. So you have that person that says, oh my gosh, like you totally get me. You just spoke to my heart. Or you have some girl in Kansas City who's like, I feel like you're my best friend. And you're like, what? I don't know you. And you're like, well, she's like, I know you. You drive a Jeep. You have a husband. You got 2 kids. You like country music. All the things. They know me because I'm sharing it. I'm sharing my story daily. So one of the, I came up with 7 things because I feel like these are the key things that really have continued to keep me moving forward. Daily, weekly, monthly. And I think these are things that people get tripped up on and either end up quitting, or they feel like they're a failure and they can't do this. And so I feel like if you acknowledge these 7 things, you really can have a long-standing business. And if you get your mind wrapped around these, that they are not tripping things, they are not failures, but they're actually a part of being an entrepreneur, actually in any business that you're in. So number 1, this has been a big thing for me, and something that I feel like I can attack and do it quickly and swiftly, but it's definitely a trait that you have to learn and grow in, is adjusting your sales. You guys, this business is going to constantly throw crap at you. Life is constantly going to be throwing stuff at you, right? Example, me in the middle of a renovation. I've moved 3 times in 2 years, one from Virginia to Florida into a condo where I lived as basically a single mom because my husband was working in DC, to living with my best friend for 5 months and with my whole family in her house, to renovating a house. I don't know if any of you guys ever built or renovated, but it's like your worst nightmare, to living in a house that's still being renovated. Like, it's every excuse as to why to be unsuccessful or unproductive in my business. And so things are going to come up. People are going to quit. People are going to tell you no. People are going to talk poorly about you. All these things are going to happen. Social media is going to shift and change. Algorithms are going to shift and change. Facebook's going to suck. Instagram's going to suck. Maybe we'll get a new platform. Now we have BOD. Then we didn't have challenge packs at one point. Like Shakeology deliveries, busted bags, all the things. What are you going to do with all of it? Because it's always going to happen. It's never going to be perfect, and you have to be super swift at acknowledging that it's happening and adjusting your sales so that you go in the direction that you want to go. And that is a mindset that so many coaches get tripped up over and end up quitting. And that is the reason why we have 200 elite coaches, because most people can't do that quick adjustment. But if you know it now you'll see these little things start popping up, and you won't go, oh, my emerald quit. I'm not diamond anymore. Oh my gosh, I'm not meant to be a leader. What? No, you are meant to be a leader. You've already been a leader. Check the box. Let's keep going, because emeralds are going to fall off and quit. That happens. Number 2, I tell this to all my coaches, and I have to remind myself of this all the time. Mine's on a different level. Well, some of you guys might be the same, but my level is never wait on Sally, as in, I'm going to go diamond, or I'm going to go to elite this year, and then they don't do it. So I can't wait on that person to do it. I have to say, all right, I'm glad that's your goal. I'm going to help you. We're going to create the steps, but I also need to go find Susan and Rebecca and all these other people who want to go diamond as well. And I can't just sit there and go, well, this is going to be my 5-star, this right here. Or this is going to be my diamond, these coaches right here. Or this is going to be my Success Club points this month. These 3 girls are going to order by Friday. No, they're not. Most likely they're not. And that girl that says she's going to go emerald or diamond, most likely they won't pursue it. And so that's my mindset. I'm not saying they won't, but in my mind, I go, okay, I'm going to do all the things that I'm supposed to do as a coach, but I'm not going to wait. Because if you wait, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're putting your business in the hands of somebody else. And so I will continue sending invites, assuming those 3 girls that said, yeah, I'm going to order on Friday, assuming they're not going to. And what happens is, even if they do order on Friday and you do get those 6 points, all the work that you did as you kept going builds up a huge amount of momentum. Same with diamonds, same with getting emeralds, same with signing coaches. So never wait on Sally. That's number 2 rule for me. Number 3 rule is creating non-negotiable goals. Like non-negotiable. And I know everybody says, like, you know, Success Club's non-negotiable. Yes, that's true statement. Inviting, doing your workout, all that stuff's non-negotiable. For me, I feel like I have to create my own personal non-negotiable goals. So for me, elite is a must. No matter if I'm like, I don't really need it. I mean, like 7 times, like who freaking cares? I could be elite, but I'm still making X amount of dollars every year, whether I'm elite or not. No, elite is a non-negotiable for me, because what I have acknowledged is that when I do the actions that get me to elite, my business continues to grow. And so I made that a non-negotiable for me. So what is that for you? You guys, we have what, 90 something days. Everybody's saying their countdown, 97, 96. I don't know. We have 90 something days left of the year. What is your non-negotiable goal by the end of the year? And I want you to like reverse engineer it, meet with your PS coach, whatever you need to do, and figure out the actions that you're going to take to make it happen. And be reasonable. Like, don't, if you're emerald and you're like, I'm going to be 5-star elite by January 1st. Well, honey, that ain't happening. But let's figure out a great goal for you. Like, are you going to go diamond? You can totally go diamond by the end of the year, 100%. So creating non-negotiable goals for me has been really crucial. And that looks different depending on the season that I'm in. But those specific ones, like elite, is really important to me. That means I'm creating 2 new leaders every single year, right? So while it is a Beachbody, like, little carrot in front of me, they've also structured it really beautifully where I'm always bringing up 2 new leaders to be elite. I'm making sure my brand new coaches are hitting Success Club. All the things that you need to do to get elite is actually moving your business forward. So create that non-negotiable. Number 4, this one's really cool. And I always like putting this little catchy phrase, but it's bring home the harvest. So what do I mean by that? It's really important that your household understands, appreciates, and acknowledges what you're doing. Because if you have a household full of tension and frustration towards your Beachbody business or even your Beachbody fitness journey, it's going to be hard, and it's not going to survive. If you're married, 100%, you guys got to be on board together. And one of the best ways for your family to be on board with you and for you to be able to have that backbone behind you, your household, is to bring home the harvest. What are your kids getting out of this? What is your husband getting out of this? What is the financial, I mean, men are finances, I'm going to say it, men are finances and sex. If you're having sex like you're supposed to and you're bringing home the money, they're usually pretty happy. So guys are a number of people. Like, you're like, I made $120 this week. You know what I mean? Like, if you're telling your husband what you're doing and how much you're making, they actually usually appreciate it more. I remember the first time I went over like the $500 mark, and I was like, I made $630 this week on the Thursday morning when I wake up and check my back office. He's like, what? Are you serious? This was 7 years ago. But it really opened his eyes to the potential that I'm actually doing something of significance. Even though I see my significance as in like helping women, he sees a dollar sign and it's like, okay, you're really adding to the family. So making sure your family understands what they're getting out of this as well. And sometimes that's the husband understanding that I feel powerful when I do Beachbody. I feel successful when I do Beachbody. I feel like I have something outside of my home that I can succeed at. And just sitting, like actually sitting down with them, holding their hand or touching their leg and telling them to their eyes how you feel. And they're like, okay, all right, girl, well, that's what you want, then I support you. And then also one thing that I've noticed with my family is understanding what their love language is. When you know what your spouse's love language is or your kids and you are filling those, they're more apt to cheer you on in what you want to do. But if you're depleting them and you're staring at your phone all the time and you're not engaged in your household, they're going to resent you. And that's not a good place you want to be. And you cannot be successful in your business when you have a household who's resenting you. And I've been in all facets of it. So in different areas of my business. So I'm not perfect in that, but definitely wisdom to take to heart. Number 5 is huge. Stepping outside of your circle. You guys are all a part of an incredible team with Danny, but there are a lot of incredible teams. And what I mean by stepping outside of your circle is partnering up with a success partner really will advance your business faster, especially if you can partner up with the right one. And I would encourage you to do it with somebody outside of your team. And why that's really cool is, one, you don't have the team dynamics going on. You have 2 different team dynamics going on. So maybe Danny's power hour is different than my power hour, and one of my PS coaches is pushing for diamond and you're pushing for diamond, but we might do things completely different, and you totally start to merge and learn things from each other. And there's no competition because you're completely in 2 different downlines. So you're not like, oh my gosh, why is she being favored because she's going? No. You're completely learning from each other, and there is absolutely no competition. So one thing that has been really beneficial for my business is lining up with success partners. And it is like dating. You will be like, okay, I don't like the way she talks. Okay, I don't like the way she organizes her day. She talks too much. Whatever it is, you got to acknowledge and be like, all right, I love you, girl, but I need to find a different match. It's not working for me. And I want you to have the best partner, and I'm just not in it right now. So finding the right person sometimes takes a couple tries. And number 6, this one I think can get, especially those emerald personalities. Have you taken the Danny Johnson personality test? Well, there's this personality type that likes to have everything to do. Right? They got to understand it all. They watch all the YouTube videos. They got to have a structure, and then they restructure the structure, and then they restructure the structure. We have those coaches. It's not my personality, but I'm simple. I'm like, just give me this and I'll go. Or my little calendar that I write in. I'm not super organized, but finding systems that are duplicatable is really important, you guys, because if your new coach can't do what you're doing on a daily basis, then it's not going to work. It has to stay super simple so that person can grab onto what you're doing, do it, sign a coach, teach them to do what they just did. Whenever we overcomplicate things, sorry, my phone's vibrating. Whenever we overcomplicate things, then the duplication slows down. And this business, income-wise, is built on being able to duplicate yourself over and over and over and over again very quickly. And that is where major income begins to happen. And then number 7, this one for me is one that if you've ever mentored lots of coaches, you're like, okay, be resourceful. Be resourceful. I did not have an upline that knew what she was doing. I didn't know the compensation plan. I didn't know how to find my link to my challenge pack. I didn't know anything except for how to put a DVD in, make my shake, and do my workout. That's what I knew. And so I had to learn how to find the answer to things that I wanted to do. I started a fit club. I'm like, I don't know what that means. I just saw people talking about it, so I had to go figure out how to start a fit club. If I wanted to run a challenge group, I didn't know how to run one. I had to go figure out how to do it. And I'm not saying be the parent that, the parent that says, well, I had a hard time. I'm not going to give my kids a hard time. I want my kids to have a better life. You have so many resources at your fingertips with your team. You have resources with Team Beachbody. You have resources literally if you Google or go on YouTube. Use those to your advantage. If you have a wild hair idea in the middle of the night that you want to do a free group and you're like, I don't know how to do it, so I'm not going to do it. I don't really know how to do it. Maybe I'll go research how to do it. Yes, go figure it out on your own. Don't wait for somebody to tell you how to do it. Just go do it. And some of my best ideas have been those wild hair ideas where I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to do a free buns, guns, and abs challenge. I don't know what that is, but I'll figure it out as I go. And actually, that challenge that I did 7 years ago was literally the catapult of my business. I had 5,000 people participate daily in this challenge, and it just funneled up. I didn't know what I was doing, but I just went with it and did it. So be resourceful. And those, I think, are the really key things that daily that if I focus on in my mind, they won't throw me off. If I stay focused on those, I won't get thrown off track. If I'm constantly able to adjust my sales, I don't wait on anybody. I keep going, even if they say they're going to order, or even if they say they're going to sign up, or even if they say they're going to rank advance on Thursday. I don't wait on it. I keep going. I create non-negotiable goals for myself. I make sure my family has my back, which helps my mindset and my growth. I step outside my circle and go learn from somebody who might be doing other things better than me. I duplicate things quickly and keep it super, super simple. And then when I have a question, I go figure it out, right? And learn for myself. So one of the things that I will say, and I put this in here and it has nothing to do with the 7 points that I just gave. This is what keeps my business glued together. You guys have to make sure you're dialed into a community. And you have, I mean, how many people, I don't even know how many people on this call because I'm sharing my screen. We had 20 plus people on the call earlier before I shared my screen. That community is what is going to draw people in. That is like one of the biggest selling points to this business, to the challenge groups, you know, the girls wanting to join you on their health and fitness journey is usually because of the community that you've created. Maybe you get on Zoom workouts and work out together. That right there is your glue. So make sure you are building that community, and that if you don't have a community yet, meaning you're the only coach and you just signed up, then you need to lean in on your team. Show up on the team calls, show up on those Zoom workouts, because the people watching you, when they see that, that's the thing that we all want to be a part of, especially if you're a female, because we're kind of like community style people. We want to be a part of a sisterhood, and it's attractive for us. And especially if, from my place, if you're a stay-at-home mom, that is really, really attractive to be a part of something like that. So make sure you're sharing that on a daily basis. So let me stop my screen. Something down. And I know that usually people have questions. Kind of my expertise in is my power hour, which I really love, and do it faithfully. And then growing my audience, I've been I'm very rigorous with that. And then social media in general is one of my passions. Obviously, IG is definitely something that I love and have learned to capitalize my business on, and just that platform. So any questions that you guys might have, I don't mind. I'm an open book. I don't mind sharing anything in those areas as well. Sorry.
I'll ask a question. I just was checking out your Instagram as you were talking, and it is absolutely amazing. Any like just top tips for growing your following, or when it comes to picture taking or your feed?
Absolutely. So I would say my feed is not as pretty as some of these like IG blogger people, right? They have like perfect filters and perfect everything. I get really anxious when I feel like it's got to be like perfectly aligned, which means I lose the joy in it, which means I don't post, which ruins all my whole purpose in doing what I do. So my bread and butter is my stories. Sharing daily in my stories is what attracts people to me, which creates this warm market. Like I said, the girl in Kansas City who feels like she's my bestie gets to know me through my stories. And you can do that on a massive scale. Like talking about scaling up the connection piece of our business when we do our power hour, it's super easy to build connections with people when you're storing like all day long and different facets of your life, adding lots of value. I mean, right now my phase of life is I'm renovating a home. So if I buy a new, laundry hamper, if I buy a set of towels, I am sharing. And these girls were like eating it up. Like, oh, I bought those granny slippers too. Y'all see or like this blanket. It's like the softest blanket ever. Just sharing that kind of stuff. People want to come back because they feel like they get value from, I don't know if you have somebody that maybe you follow that's not Beachbody that you're like, I literally go to her page. I don't even wait for it to pop up. Like I literally go to her page to see what's going on. Home Edit. I was just watching the show. You go to Home Edit, to see what they're doing or what kind of containers they come up with, or different organizational systems that they have, because you want to be inspired because you're organizing your pantry. You want to be that person that somebody wants to go to. And so that's adding lots of value. So I try to do that on a daily basis, along with share my daily life. And it goes back to, remember I said what I do before my power hour is that remembering where I am, where I was 7 years ago on September 28th and where I am now, and making sure I really articulate that in my daily stories. Because the girl that I was 7 years ago is the girl that is probably watching me. And I want to make sure that I can make that connection, and I'm not so far-fetched of like, I'm going to jump in my Jeep and, you know, make a $300,000 a year and drive and lay on the beach all day. And they're like, well, that doesn't do anything for me, honey. You know what I mean? There's no relation to that. So to answer your question, making sure you are really consistent on your storytelling, whether it's in a post or it's your daily stories, that's super crucial to building those connections on a larger scale. Now, how do you get eyes on you? That's a whole nother level question, right? You're like, okay, well, great. I want the larger scale. Like, how do I find the scale with all the people on it, right? Some of the things that I've been doing that's working right now, and this is adjusting your sale, it doesn't always work. Like, you have to change things up because this one thing you did a year ago might not work now. So right now, let's point my business that's really working. And I just got off a mentor call earlier today where I did this for a girl who was like, I don't know anybody else to ask. Like, my funnel has dried out and I need the funnel to be filled up here so that when I get to this point, there's people that can come out. I said, all right, let's do that part. Expanding your network. I said, this is a girl, she's works full-time, she's like gorgeous, like big flowy hair and does the eyebrows, all this stuff. I'm like, all right, do you have a local blow dry bar in your neighborhood or in your town? She's like, oh yeah, I live in Ashburn and there's one down at the strip mall. I'm like, okay, let's find that blow dry bar's IG account. Because anybody that's gonna go for this girl, this is her niche market and probably would be great for me as well, but anybody that's gonna go pay somebody to wash their hair and blow dry it out, one, she probably would be a great coach. Two, she probably wouldn't give you much of a price objection because she's paying to get her hair blow dried, okay? And three, if you're into beauty or anything like that, that's probably your girl. Like, you would probably go have a glass of champagne with her and go get your hair blown out. So things like that are what's working for me when I go to try to expand my market. I go find a local place at a place that I would go to that reaches people that I can connect with. And I literally went, and I'll show you in here. It was so funny because she's like, I can't find anybody. And I'm like, okay, let me find you some people right now. Here she is. So she's got like the cutest little page. Hold on. Right? So this is the kind of girl she is. She's got a great page, super pretty, would probably go to a blow dry bar. And she said she couldn't find anybody. And I went and I was like, okay, that girl, wait, I can't, that girl, I was literally just sending her people. I'm like, really? All these girls went to that blow dry bar right down the street. I think you need to connect. All I see is coach, diamond, ooh, coach, diamond, coach, right? So go find some places in your town. For me, I live in Cocoa Beach, and there are a lot of really cute boutiques that make, you know, beachy type clothing and stuff, places that I like to shop. And so I will go there and find the girls that follow that page or interact with that page. And when I go and follow them or connect with them or interact with them, or even I follow them and I'm requesting it, they see that I live in Cocoa Beach because I tag my, you know, in my post, the location that I'm at, and it's less invasive for them to interact with me. I just gave you a really long-winded answer. I'm so sorry. But that is what I'm doing currently right now to expand my network. And I do 30 a day, 5 days a week. Yeah.
Thank you. That was so helpful.
Good. What else? Also, you can create, have you heard the collections on how you can create collections within your IG? That really helps as well. Danny, is that what you said you did, right? Or is that somebody else that spoke on my call?
I do them, but I didn't say that on the call.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I do is I put people in little groups on my thing, on my IG.
I have a question. That was amazing. I have like 3 pages of notes. So thank you so much. So what would be your advice for those who maybe are brand new to the team or are emerald or are fallen diamonds or just like right where bare bone diamond? Like what would be your advice to continue to move their business forward during this chaotic time in the world with going back to school and everything and, you know, fall months and holidays and things like that and all the it's dark outside so people can't work out, you know, all the fucking bullshit that people tell you. So what would be your advice for a new coach or maybe a coach who feels like they're struggling or a stagnant coach to end the year strong with whatever goal that they have set for themselves?
Well, one, you are doing this for you, right? So whether you don't sell a challenge pack for the rest of the year, you don't rank advanced for the rest of the year, you're in this community for a purpose and a reason. And the number one is for you, right? Your health and fitness journey. You're staying dialed into your own health and fitness journey. So keep that number one. I bet you if you quit coaching, your journey is going to go, right? And you're going to put all the weight back on. You're going to go back into old habits. It's really important for your own personal health and fitness journey to stay tied into this community. Number two, this season that we're in right now, with it being almost October, I use this analogy all the time, and you probably have heard it before because I didn't create it, but January is the big kahuna. It's the big wave, okay? And the coaches that paddle hard when the wave is coming, like far back here, and it's starting to come, like, oh crap, if you ever surfed before, you gotta like paddle hard when that wave comes, because if you don't paddle hard, you don't gain the momentum so that you can stand up when the wave comes and ride it in. What happens is if you sit in October and November and December, like, well, nobody's doing anything. Oh shoot, there goes a big wave. Guess what's gonna happen? Tan's gonna be riding, Danny's gonna be riding. Some of y'all, the wave goes over your head and you're like, and you can't do anything. You don't get to enjoy the process. I did that. You don't enjoy the process of writing this January, February, March, like right into August. Like seriously, that's the momentum of your business, and it all happens right now. When I push for Elite, you guys, it's right now. My next year Elite is banked on all the coaches that I signed from October to December. Because what happens is they get on board at the end of the year, and I know you're referring to coaches and new coaches or things like that, but take this to heart when you're here next year and you're wanting to push for Elite and things like that. Everything that you do right now is what creates the momentum for the rest of the next year. And that is so important. So it might not even be high Success Club numbers. All the seeds that you plant, all the watering that you do, and then you like cultivate the soil, all those things, and then you put some sunshine on it. All that's going to happen, it all seems like hard work, and you're like, where the heck is my sprout? That happens within the new year. So you have to be doing all the things. I just went like all farmer on you. You got to be watering. You got to give them sunshine. You got to start doing all the things that you're supposed to do. Your power hour, tracking things, inviting, connecting, just like you normally would. Your fruit of your labor will not show as much right now, and that is okay. It's okay. Still hit Success Club. It's a non-negotiable. But all the work you put into it, you'd be like, I'm getting paid 10 cents an hour for all this work I'm doing right now. Right? Have you ever felt that way? I felt that way in the beginning. But guess what? I don't get paid 10 cents an hour now, and I actually work a little bit less than I did, and I have a lot more freedom and a lot more income. So you have to put in that time and that work so that you can see the fruit of your labor. And you know that picture of the guy that's like behind the rock and he has an axe, and if he had just gone a little bit more, he would have broken through that rock? That is like the perfect picture of the new coach that doesn't get to ever see what can be their potential. And it's so hard, it's disheartening when you're like, oh my gosh, this girl has everything she would need to be successful in this business. She has a transformation. She loves the product. She's sharing on social media. She's doing all the things, but she's giving up too soon. So even though things are a little bit more difficult right now, you really couldn't be I can't even imagine a business that's any better right now than something that's at home, that helps with your mindset and your health and fitness than Beachbody. Because it is seriously, and I sound like an infomercial right now, but it really is a full solution for people who are stuck at home. And not even like a physical, like we are now Netflix, and the gyms are Blockbuster. Okay, we are on the cutting edge, and everybody. And I'm sorry if you go to the gym or you're into that, but they're struggling. And you are in a very good position. I talk to personal trainers like this all the time. Like, you're in a really good position if you are a part of Beachbody, because they figured out a way, thankfully, to be able to sustain ourselves and move forward technology-wise. So be proud of that. Show up every day, paddle hard during the last couple months of the year, and set goals for yourself, small goals and big goals, and do the actions that will get you to the goals that you have for yourself. I just talked a lot. So you get for 10 o'clock at night. Just kidding. Keep talking. Oh, I can. I'm just kidding.
You guys,
go
ahead.
Oh, I had a question. You mentioned your power hours, and everybody does their business differently. I actually have a couple of questions, but I'll start with the power hour. What does your power hour usually consist of, and how do you usually go about doing that?
So first thing is take care of me first. And that is my gratitude, affirmation, and visualizing my day, my year, the end of the year, what things I need to accomplish. All that happens with just me, myself, and I kind of thing. Personal development, making sure I'm doing that. And my personal development is super short because my attention span is about this big. So it's usually like a Gary Vee video on YouTube, or right now I'm doing a book with a group of ladies. Like, I'm either reading a book or I'm doing a short video. And when I read a book, I literally read for like 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I can't do no more. But making sure you're doing some is really, really important. I wish I was a reader, but I'm not. I work out, drink a shake, I check in with my challenge groups. That's like my beginning, right? Once I've taken care of me first, which that's my taking care of me first category, I go into my daily essentials. And my daily essentials is expanding my network. That's the 30 people, friend or follow. And I told you how I do that. I can literally go into boutiques or blow dry bars or salons in the area and things like that, and connecting and following up with people with the different, what's it called? Where you put them in little categories. I forgot what I called it, collections. So I sort through new friends into different IG collections. I spend time on that. And track them. So the last people that I added to IG, I go in and make sure I'm interacting with them. I send out challenge group invites. I send out coach invites, at least 3 to 5, depending on my goal that month, every day, 5 days a week. I work 5 days a week. That's it. Sorry. And then respond to ongoing conversations and clear out my inbox. I do have an assistant, so I will put that out there, that helps me in my inbox. So sometimes I'll start the conversation. She knows how to pick up the conversation and help me with it. And I did not get an assistant until I was 5 stars. So it can be done without that. And then posting on social media on my main feed. So making sure that I'm talking about things in coaching, my fitness, my family, all the different aspects that I like to share on. And that is part of my power hour. Daily life, share product, talk about my challenge group, always do a call to action or some sort of poll. I add value, tips and tricks, food, meals, something like that, where I'm making sure I'm giving back to them for free. Showing my personality, entertaining. People love Jatana Jackson dancing around like a crazy person. I need to get better at doing that again, because I have gone in this like little hole. Actually, Danny kicked my butt on the call the other day. I was like, oh shoot, she's a butt kicker. I was like, I just got a spanking just now. And I need to get my act together, because I haven't been bouncing around like wild, crazy Jatana that people love. So I need to do better. I got COVID too, and it was bad COVID. So that was a whole nother wrench thrown in it as well. Share your personality, entertaining, PD, encouragement or gratitude in your stories and in your posts. Share your business hustle. I do that. And then workout clips. I try to make sure I share a little bit of my workout. And if you have a transformation, that needs to be shared on a regular basis also. different aspects of it. I showed you some pictures in my slides, and I make sure that they see that, because somebody who starts following me and they don't scroll back, they just go, oh, blonde Jatana with abs. Okay, good for you, boo. You don't have any relation to me. But when they see that before picture on a regular basis, so you got to make sure you're sharing that often, because you might have a new follower who doesn't know, all they know is you're this workout girl. They need to know where you come from. And so that's part of my work day. And then I have a fit in the pockets of your day little list. A quick check-in with my coach's message thread to stay in the loop. I respond to new likes and comments on my posts. I check into my team page and with my success partner. And then I follow up with anybody interested in my challenge group and coaching. And that is my daily to do. And it is not done in 1 hour. It is done over a span of 8 hours, which is mixed in with my workout, which is mixed in with fixing my kids' lunches or telling the contractors they missed a part of the wall. My daily life is mixed in with that, which is a really beautiful thing. Or maybe I'm laying on the beach with my phone and I'm doing my invites. I mean, I'm living my best life over here. So does that answer your question, Alexandria? You look familiar. You were on my team call, weren't you? You were. I was like, ooh, who's that? She gonna be my next rock? No, she's not even on my team. Dang it.
I have one other question, kind of as a follow-up. So I know that you mentioned at the beginning that you do a lot of you time and just taking care of yourself. When you wake up in the morning, is that your routine, like your daily routine, just focusing on you? Like, what are your thoughts? Like, what are you thinking when you wake up? Like,
oh, that's wild. One, I keep saying that I live my dream spot. Like, if you see my stories this morning, I literally wake up seeing the beach sunrise, like pinks and purples and blues. So gratitude is like my first thing. And when you wake up with gratitude and the things that you're thankful for, your mindset positivity is in ultimate direction and the way you want to go with your day. If you wake up with oh my gosh, my kids and homework and this, and you start thinking about all the things you do, or oh gosh, I left my laundry in the washer, now it's going to smell like mold, and I'm going to rewash it again. All the things you're thinking about, I do that. I do that all the time. It's horrible. I wash things 3 times in a row. I'm like, this is really sad. So if you wake up thinking about all those things, or picking up your phone first thing, not a good idea. I might check the time, but I've been doing this recently, and I need to do it more often, more consistently. But when I wake up, I open my eyes, and where I'm at is where I'm showing my gratitude. I am so grateful for that sunrise. I'm so grateful for another day. The colors that you created, God, and the sky is absolutely magnificent. It is grander than me. I'm just this little speck on earth, and there's all this mass, which washes away COVID and masks and e-learning and all that stuff, because that. And which allows me to have a grateful heart when I put my feet on the floor, right? And that's going to look different for everybody. So whatever it is for you, if it's picking up a book and reading first thing in the morning, or it's taking a hot shower, if it's listening to music, everybody's looks different. For me, it's just I wake up literally to a beautiful, different painting every day on the sky. And so that is the first thing I do to get my mind straight. Now, in my perfect world, without my kid peeing the bed or something crazy happening or fighting over the Xbox at 7:30 in the morning, in my perfect world, I would get up, I would do that. My kids would still be asleep. I would drink my Energize. I would put some PD in my ear while I'm drinking my Energize. Then I would walk out to my gym space and I would push play. I would do my workout. And then while I was doing my workout, I would cultivate my thoughts in my posts based on my gratitude and the things that I'm thankful for, thinking about my phase of life now versus my phase of life 7 years ago. Come up with a post after my workout when I'm all high on my workout, right? Get the post out there, and then boom, time to make school lunches, time to get the kids off to school. The kids are off to school. Now I can focus on some of the things in my business. Is it always like that? No, it's not perfect. But that doesn't mean I just wash the whole day away. I'm well, today didn't start off right. Let me just not do it. If we treated our health and fitness journeys like that, we would never see results. So. What else?
Okay, I know we only have 2 minutes, but if there's one thing that you can tell every coach on this team, no matter what level they're at, new, doesn't matter, or not, what would it be that they need to do every single day to move their business forward?
Share your health and fitness journey. I mean, that is the bread and butter to your business. And if you're not publicly sharing your health and fitness journey on a daily basis, on a relatable, I'm not saying post T21 or T21, T25, day 7 done. That's not relatable. Nobody cares you did T25, day 7. People care more about how you overcame, how you feel, why, all those things. And so sharing that on a more of a, almost, I tell this to my coaches, share it as if you are a blogger. Blog your life. And it looks different now. We don't do blogs as much anymore, but share in your story, share in a post, your daily health and fitness journey, and that will inspire people to take action. Stay super consistent in that. And all the other pieces you can begin to add on and add in. But when that one is solid, you will begin to build a business and build credibility. And have confidence in your business because you have confidence in your health and fitness journey.
Love that. I'm going to stop recording. This is